All right, everybody. We are live. We are in the midst of a complete dissecting disintegration of our Creative Hub, simply because some issues that are currently infecting the entire gaming community right now. So Forza on their end is working on it. Hopefully that works out. Hopefully they've got some good answers for us in the next couple of days. But to potentially recover some of your work that may be on cars you've shared that have maybe not showing up in your Creative Hub, and it still shows as a Forza livery or Forza file. The thing is, we can't save at this time or know of a way to save anything that's listed as an invalid file. As you can see in this particular Creative Hub in mine, that a lot of these cars are Forza livery, Forza livery, Forza livery, but invalid, invalid, invalid. So right now, we don't have a fix for the invalid data as far as what we can do. Sadly enough, there is going to be some losses. There will be casualties, unfortunately. Uh, but some of these things are possibly savable. Okay, anything that has a Forza livery above the title with no picture, you're not going to know what it is. All right, if we click on it right now, right, it'll show us that it's shared. We haven't shared it, but we're going to try a little way to figure this out, right? So let's actually go and try something here. We've just seen. Let's look at this. We don't know what this is. We're gonna share this because we're gonna call this. We're just gonna call it test save. Okay. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to get this particular file to literally show us a picture or apply it, at least recognize what car it goes on, right? We don't need to know what it is. What we need to do is figure out what car it is and maybe go from there. So let's see. We're going to do this real quick. Okay, we're going to make a quick save, test save, and we're going to share that test save. Okay, now when we go here, there was an error in communication with Forza, so that may be an unrecoverable file. Maybe that's going to be the case. So let us figure this out. We're going to go. So obviously, anything like that you can't share. It's going to be a problem. But we want to recover some paints. Okay, so when I look at my Creative Hub, I don't see a lot going on for that Supra except one design. Okay, I got two designs actually. We got this one that's saved, and we've got this one that's actually saved, and both of these are shared. Okay, but I've got quite a few more designs for that car. So let's see if we can find another one. I have a version of this. It's not the Pixar version. So we're going to see where that is and if we can recover that now. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Like I said, this is not 100%. But the goal here is not necessarily to save the car. The goal is to get our vinyl groups as a whole package saved to our vinyl editor save file. Because we don't know if this is going to fix this right away as far as the game Forza developers. We don't know if they're how stable this is right now. Like we change anything on these cars right now, we don't know if tomorrow we wake up and they're gone. We don't know. We just don't know. We got to take no chances here. Let them do their thing. They made the game. Let them figure out what's going on. They're actively working on it. You know, we don't know the lead time on that, so we'll let them have their moment. Let them figure it out. But for now, we have potential to save some of our vinyl work per side. What's that really do? Well, maybe sure we have all the vinyls already. Maybe, you know, we've already done these cars, so a lot of these vinyls are saved as individuals, but they're maybe not saved as an entire side. This is a chance for you to save the design and potentially rebuild this car using whole panels. So we've got sides, top, left and right sides, front and back. So these are all potential savior points because if you could save the entire design individually, and ultimately the car could be saved in the long run. When the fix finally happens, who knows? Maybe we'll get all these cars back. Who knows? Who knows? We'll give them a chance. But for now, we're trying to figure out what we can save the fastest. You can see the floodwaters rising. The chances are most of your stuff's going to get lost. What do you save first? That's kind of the scenario we're in, right? We don't know what's going to happen from here. All right. This just happened last night and it's got progressively worse over the night. So we're going to show you a way to save potentially a specific paint job. We do not see another version of that car anywhere else in here. Very clearly, it is not there of that particular Fast and Furious design. All right, so we're going to look for that. So we've got the car up. Okay, now if I go to my designs, we already know that if I find in my designs, I do not have that paint job to put on this car. Okay, so the trick here is you got to go into find new designs. Okay, and when you find the new design, it's going to come up with the entire community's work, right? That's fine. We're going to immediately go over to the search button down at the bottom, the double square button, or I believe the copy paste button. We're going to go to search. And if you've already done this, you'll have your name already populated in there, but go to creator, put your own gamer tag in, your own gamer tag, and then search. Don't have any cars up top. You want to bring up whatever is showing up as your shared content externally. See, this is a different view of the Creative Hub. This is not your internal view. This is not what you see from in the garage. This is what the world sees outside the garage. So there doesn't seem to be a problem there. Yet we haven't figured that out. We don't know if any of those paint jobs might be infected somehow. Bringing them into this might cause a problem. Who knows? But this is a way that you can at least get the files opened up, save your vinyl groups as a whole, and bring them off and save them in your vinyl editor themselves. That way you've recovered at least the work you've done. You can always put the stuff back on the car by simply just sticking it on and moving it into place. That's the key. You need to be able to do that. So we're going to search right now. It should bring up my entire Creative Hub of shared designs. And we know we've shared that design, so it should be there. And it is not. Okay. But we do see one right here. That's the Future D. That is like, I know that car's there. All right, so we've lost that car. We can just assume that that's gone. But to be fair, we can save it because all we got to do is paint the car, this particular design, and then take the eyes off it. We already know we got this car saved. It's not too big of a deal. The one I really want to find is this one. Okay, so we're going to bring this up. We're going to actually look for this particular car. This is the supercar. All right, we're actually going to go into our Creative Hub. All right, we're going to find our car. So, see, here's the thing. Like, this is what tells me at some point this is going to be fixable. Because I'm in the Super right now, and I know I don't have a paint job on this car. You can see that right there. It does not have a paint job. But when I go into this screen, it shows that there is a paint job on that car. So I don't want to mess with that. It's there. When the game fix happens, if it happens, this car should be okay. Now, ultimately, if it does happen and you do get these cars back, because it's not coming up as an invalid file, it's literally showing a title, there's a good chance we'll get these cars back when they do whatever fix they're going to do to make this happen. But ultimately, the reality here is, yes, we want to get access to the car so we could save that whole entire side as a vinyl group so we could just put it on the car again when we need to. That's the trick. Save your work. You can always do the work over again, but it's a lot harder to create the entire car over if you don't have your saved as a whole. You can put the whole thing on the car at once and save a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of stress. Basically, it's really what it is. Stress management is basically the situation we're in. So what we're looking at right now is we're going to look at this and we're going to see. We're going to choose a car. Okay, we're going to go in here and we're going to find that Supra or Subaru. And we're going to look for the WRX A, WRX XT, XB, 77, 93,000 cumulatory process times pi. Here it is. We could see it in our garage. Let's pull it up and hopefully the car has a paint job on it. And it does. Thank God for that. So that is good. See, that's not showing up in my Creative Hub, but it is shared. So the trick here is go in immediately once you see it and save your work. Go pull all them sides. Pull the whole side, save it as a side. You can come back and put it on the car. All right, we know that's working. So let's go find another car here. As soon as I know the car works, I like to bring it out of the garage and pull it back in because, when you do that, the data rewrites itself real quick to give it the most updated version. So you've been out, you've seen the car, you brought it out, you brought it back in, and now the game is rewriting it as it literally saves every single time you come in and out. So there's little micro manageable saves that happen that we don't see, underlying. But that's what's happening. So we know we saved that car. Thank God for that. I think we went back outside by mistake. Let's do that a million times a day. We've done that. We've all done that. B button, escape. All right, so the goal is to find one we could save. Now, we've done a couple already, so we may already be at the peak of our abilities now at this point. So the bottom line is, the technique I've showed you, even though we're not seeing it happen right here, I've used it on multiple cars in the last 20 minutes before the stream started, and it does work, but I just wanted to put that out there for people to kind of get a kickstart on maybe saving some of these jobs. So let's go look in our cars real quick another time. We're going to look for another paint job. Let's see. So that's somebody else's car. We've got a Herbie car missing. And I think we do have the Herbie car. So let's take a look at my cars. We're going to bring up this car. This is a buddy of mine's car. Sorry, bro, I'm going to have to take your paint job off for a minute because I need to bring up my car, my paint job. So we're going to get in this car. We're going to see if this paint job's even on there. And it's not on there. So that's not even my paint job. And it's taking that paint job off the car. So that's something else that might be an interesting point there is that this is not just affecting our paint jobs, but it's affecting paint jobs we may have downloaded from other people. My friend made that car. That's the first car he made. He's a brand new painter, and he's pretty motivated. And since then, he's made 5 or 6 other cars that he's gotten progressively better at over the last couple of days. So that's impressive. I downloaded the car because I wanted to be the first download. You know, he's a new painter, and I felt like giving him a little bit of recognition there. So that's a great way to start the journey, is to get that first download. And that was what that car was. But I had to take my paint job off the car to do that. No big deal. I'm going to pick up another one of these whenever I find one, and we'll be able to keep that car for our friend. But we're going to put we're going to put a paint job we know we have on here. All right. So if we were to do the traditional idea here, let's go put our design on this car. Say we bought this car for the first time, we just painted it blue, or we brought it out and we're going to put our design on it. We know we have one. When we go to our Creative Hub, we see that it may not be there. It's probably not there. Right? I don't see a Herbie design, and I know I have a Herbie design because it's the only paint job I have besides the one my friend made for this car. And I don't see the Herbie design, so we're going to hopefully it's one of these ones that has Forza livery on it, but no picture. Okay? We're hoping. I believe this is one of the first cars I made, so it should be down this way here in the earlier dates. Maybe down here. But we do got some lost data there, so we'll see what happens. I want to know what that is. There's a car called Nomadic, and I want to know what that is. So we're going to have to figure that out. 520. We're going to look for a design in our group. But anyway, let's go see what this is going to do. We're going to try to find this paint job. Now, we know it's not in our Creative Hub. We know we just looked in our own designs, and we see that it's not there. Now, I know the car is shared, so this potentially will work. We're going to go to Find New Designs. All right. I know that's an odd way of doing it. You have to search for your own car. I see lots of people have made the Herbie car. Who wouldn't? It's a great little car. I like that one. That's got a nice rusted look to it. That's how they would have found him years later. All right. So we're going to just ignore this part of it. We're going to go down the bottom. And you can see where there's the little tabs with different things you can do. You want to click on the double square button or the copy button, left menu button on your Xbox controller, and see what that does. It should bring up our name populated in the creator. We're looking only for our designs. It's going to bring up all of our designs, okay? Which in a way is good because we can see all of our potential designs we could possibly save. So we're going to look for the Herbie, and there's the Herbie Love Bug, okay? Now, if this process works, like I said, this isn't 100% all the time, but if this process works, what we will do now is we will load this car from the outside Creative Hub. We're literally using what the world sees as our shared designs as a beginning to put this design on the car. Let's see what happens. Downloading. So that's a good sign because it did not say invalid data. So there you just saw it. We now have that paint job back on the car. Now, when I drive it outside, right, it's now part of this car. And when I come back in, we're just going to turn around, do a little dippity right there, come back in. And when we come, wow, that thing, oh yeah, I guess I'm in stick shift mode. When we come back in, this automatically resaves the game right here when you come in and out of the garage. So now we know that this car is now back where it belongs with the proper paint job on it. And when we look in our Creative Hub now, which we previously did not see in our designs, a version of that car, and now we see it sitting there. There is a way, if you look at this, all these ones here that have Forza livery but no picture are potential saves that you can get back. Now, right now, there's more of them than there is invalid data, except back here, there's a lot more invalid data. Our goal is to figure this out, okay? We need to figure it out. Now, this one's a little bit wonky. I don't know. Yeah, I think that one did. that didn't. That actually, let's go look at that. This is an issue that I think we had earlier. Let's go to Nissan GTR. We're going to look at the one that I know has a cop car design. I believe it's probably, which one was it? So this is where you're looking at now. What this is part of the factor that doesn't like this is the part that doesn't work. So like I said, like this is maybe 80 or 90% potential for working. All right. So the other percentage is fail. All right. So we're literally at that point where we're about to discover that this one may or may not work. So we know we had a cop paint job on this car that matches this paint job right here. Okay. We also know that paint job is not on the car we want, but we know we can see that paint job as well. So we're going to try this one next. But let's try to get this car to get the police paint job back on it. We're going to load this car up. We can see that it's no paint job on there. All right. We're going to go into my designs and we're going to see that we can't see that police paint job in our designs. All right. So we know that's not there. All right, so then we're going to come back out of here and hopefully this works. We're going to go find the new designs. And in the new designs option, we're going to look at, it takes a second to populate. Okay. I like to scroll over and scroll back a second to get it to kind of, update real quick with like fresh, refreshed stuff. So then we're going to go to search and we've already got our name in there because we've done this a couple times on a couple cars. We're good to go. We're going to hit search. And our paint job should come up because we have shared it. And there it is. Now, this is where we know we're in that car, by the way, because of the steering wheel. We all know that. So we know there's a potential this car could be saved right now. Will it or won't it? What's the percentage? Probably 80% chance this won't come onto the car. But then again, I've already tried this, so I know this isn't going to work. But I would say in your adventures, when you're doing this, this is probably part of that 30% factor that may not work, we'll call it. So I'm going to try to put this on. It's saying it's downloading it, which is different than, see, it didn't download it though. There's a potential. Now what you want to do is you want to leave that. No, there it is. It came up. All right. We've managed to save that. Now that's interesting because 20 minutes ago when I tried it on this car, it did not show me that paint job on this car. It just didn't show it. So there's the thing. You may want to come in and try this technique a couple times over a period of days. Or maybe an hour, come back an hour later and try it again because now it's on the car, right? Where 20 minutes ago when I tried it, it wasn't on the car. I was concerned, and now we're good. So worst case scenario, if we don't have any of those vinyl groups saved as a whole side, pull it off the car now, save each side so you can come back and put it on later on. That's how you do that. We're good on this. We know now if we take it outside, it should show the paint job outside. This is getting promising. So this is kind of like our little ability to control our environment. To be fair, when we go through this, Forza has some control, but we have some control too. So we're going to bring this back in, and now we're at the point where we see it's on the car again, and now we will actually see this in our creative. Oops, I went back outside. How many people haven't done that? You know what I mean? We've all done that. We're just going to back her up. Make it look like we didn't mean to do that. Look cool backing up. Yeah, all right, let's get in here. Nobody saw us. Perfect. Okay, we're going to go into our car designs, paints, and we're going to look at our designs this time. My designs, it should show up now as one of the liveries that is now on the car, and there it is. See? Now, here's the thing. We know for a fact that it works some of the time and doesn't work some of the time, but we've just experienced now that one of the times it didn't work actually now does work. So the potential's there. Now, here's the thing. I do not know if this is going to be here tomorrow, okay? This is only for now. So the best case scenario is immediately save every side of the car as an individual layer group. Save it as a group, put it in your creative hub, because knock wood, so far, let me knock that wood real quick. So far, it hasn't affected the vinyl groups on my end. All right, so my end, particularly in my own personal experience here, I feel confident that I could save some of my work. All right. So that gives me promise because there's other cars like this one, this BMW that I'm really desperately wanting to get back because it's not my car. It's made for somebody else. It took a lot of work. Okay. And we can see that when we bring this car up, it is not on the car. Okay. And that's devastating, man. It's devastating because there's a lot of work in there, and the guy was so happy with it. I sent him pictures of it. He knew what he was getting, and I was like, okay, you got your final approval. Do you like it? And he's like, I love it. It's exactly what I wanted. And I was literally like, okay, man, I'm gonna put the vinyls, I'm gonna put the rest of the logos on tomorrow, and I'll share it for you, bro, and it's all yours, right? And then I took a break from the car. I should have done it, man, right there on the spot. It would have been saved. I'm really regretting not doing it right away. That's going to change my angle of things from the future. From now on, I'm not taking any second chances. The moment I know I'm at a point where I should save it as a vinyl group, it's going to be an entire vinyl group per side. Literally, it comes down to needing to have five saves per car, meaning front, back, top, left, and right. Every car you make from this point on, if you're not having problems with your vinyl creative hub, but you're having problems with your full paint job creative hub, your option should be to get as many of those cars to populate as you can, so you can then capture all them sides, save them as sides together, so in the end you will at least be able to recover the work you've done. Okay, we may not get some of them invalid files back. All right, that's devastating, but we do have Forza working to fix this out or figure this out. So we'll let them do their thing. We'll give them some time because it's happening to everybody. All right. Even though, some people are sitting back maybe saying this ain't happening to me, so I don't really have a skin in the game on this. I feel for people, but I'm not dealing with it. Well, I was that guy yesterday. I felt really bad for these people that were affected by this. Now today I'm that guy who's affected by this. So, just stay cool with people when they're experiencing this. If they're sharing this in your communities and your social network communities and be supportive of them, man. If you can find this video and it can help them, give it to them. Show them this technique. I don't even care if you give me credit for it. Just tell them you figured out a way to do it and get them to save their work. That's the most important thing. That's how we grow faster together. That's true meaning of the hashtag faster together. How do we grow our community? We grow it faster together. Be supportive of those guys, man. Be supportive of your fellow peer painters. Be supportive of the coming up painters, the new painters, the people that got vision, but they may not have the time in the game and skills. Get them people up to speed. These people are our friends, man. We should not be letting them suffer the damnation of the gods for being just a guy who doesn't have time in the game to paint. That's all it is. Let's get these guys up to speed. Let's share our ideas with them. Let's share our experiences with them. If you're lucky enough to have time to paint constantly, like I am, be that guy who can share stuff with other people. Techniques, support, stand there beside them and be like, yeah, I got you, man. Great job on that car. That is what builds the community faster, right? And, when Forza sees that happening in the social media outside of their game, they understand how important it is to people. So they're going to work extra hard to regain as much of this possible loss as we can get. Does it suck? Fucking damn right it sucks. We all know this sucks. It hurts. I was sick to my stomach, literally for like 20 minutes. I went to bed. Like, I don't sleep. Okay, if you know me, I'm not a guy that likes sleeping often. I'm always online and I'm always doing something. So I was so aggravated and raged out that I just had to step away. My full Sith blood was coming up and it was pushing out my Jedi side. That was really bad. So I had to back away from that. But I come back in with a clear mind and I realized there might be another way to do this. And I discovered that outside of your game creator hub that other people can see, as long as you've shared the car, you could save the design potentially. Let's try another one. This is the car that I really want to have saved, and I'm praying that this gets working. All right, please, the gods of Forza, please let this happen. I'm asking the universe right now for this guy who wanted this car. I'm praying that it gets repopulated right now. So we know the design is in our. This is what gets me. This design is showing up, but it says invalid data. So this may not come back. That's devastating. But I got to at least try every day. All right. I don't know why that's that way. I can't even think of it. I've not done anything in this game that's an exploit. I've not done anything that's not a modded account. There's no red flags on my account whatsoever. I've done everything the way it's supposed to be done on purpose because it's a new game. We just got here and I don't want to catch a ban. Who the hell wants to catch a ban on month 1 of a game that's probably going to be around for a while? Now look how long Forza Horizon 5 was around. I know people that got banned in that game on, year 1. I'm like, bro, are you serious? Like, what? And 5 years later, they're thanking God they've got 6. It's real, people. This shit's real. A lot of work is lost there. But you do have a potential to save some of these things. Obviously, we're not going to recover these invalid data ones. We are just screwed. But let's try this one here. We know that this is showing up Tokyo PD. We've got another one here, Tokyo PD, right? We know that that one's already working. Let's go out, and we know that that paint job exists in our Creative Hub. We know it's in our My Designs because we see it right there. We're going to come out of it. We're going to look at the car. Oh, that's devastating. It says the paint job's on the car. See, so I'm not touching that thing. I don't want to remove that paint job from the car. I want it to stay right there. Okay? Maybe one day I'll wake up and it'll be there for the guy. We'll see what happens. But we're going to go to Nissan and pull up our Nissan S-Car Go, because we know that doesn't have a paint job on it right now. Even though it says it has a paint job on it, we know it doesn't. We've already seen this. This is the car that kicked it all off for me. This is the one I noticed was the problem at first, and I was like, wait, why is my paint job not on that car? And I went into my Creative Hub and had a stroke, literally a bloody stroke, because I realized that slowly my Creative Hub was getting obliterated by whatever disease is happening right now. So we can see clearly that the paint job's not there. By the way, side note, my kid called me one day and said, I love how they made the S-Car Go actually look like a snail, because it's got the large humpy back like a shell, and it's got the upright protruding eyeballs in the front that they stick up. That is legitimately, if you think in terms of like SpongeBob SquarePants and Gary, his pet snail, that's Gary, literally. All right, big back shell with the eyeballs popping up in the front. Perfect play on a car, with the name being exactly perfect for it. Eyeballs sticking up in the front, big shell in the back. Perfect design. All right, so comedy is just, every time I look at this car, I'm like, the comedy is just perfect. All right, so you see, we know that this car showed the paint job there. So we're going to go to My Designs. We're going to try to put it on. We're going to see if it works. If it works, then we're done. We're good there. We don't need to worry about that. If it works. All right. I love the fact that 200 people downloaded this. Like I said, I don't really care about the downloads, but I love the usage. You know, if 200 people are using my shit, I love that. 2,300 people decided that they wanted to play policeman and use this car. I love that. Okay? More power to you, man. This is a fantasy game. Live the fantasy life. You know what I'm saying? Let's load the design. Hopefully it works. And it has worked. Perfect. That's pretty standard right there. All right, that just shows me that my design got taken off the car and somehow it was okay, so it went back on the car, no problem. We see that that clearly happened there. So we're going to take this car outside for a minute. We're going to let the game recognize it as an entity, and then it'll rewrite the file when we come back in. All right, let's go. Now, we're going to pick one right now that's going to be dear to my heart. And hopefully this gets saved. But we know we've made this particular car and design many times on many cars. So we can throw this car together in our sleep with one hand tied behind our back, laying on our side while snoring. Right? That's how easy this car is to be done. Right? I'll show you what it is. You know it, you love it, you know you love it. Actually, we're going to go in and make sure it's invalid. So I know this car is invalid. All right, I already know. So this is going to be a devastating thing to see. We're witnessing the other side of the effect now, right? I'm going to go to my cars. I'm going to go to Ford. I'm going to see right here that the Dark Horse design is there in my garage. But I'm going to pull this car out now, right? And it won't be on the car. I can feel it. Oh. Now I know we're not going to get this from inside My Designs, because we know that that design has got an invalid fucking tag to it, pardon my French. We're not going to get this design back. It won't even give us, as I click the button, it won't even give us the design to come up. Now, we do know we shared this design, so we're going to search from the outside, meaning we're going to go look for a new design, but we know when we search, come on, take your time, get it all out there. There we go. We know when we search for it, we're going to search our specific Creative Hub from the outside looking in, storefront. All right, now we're going to look through here. Will the car be there? And there it is right there. Now, the thing is, right, I already know that the paint job appears to be on the car based on what my Creative Hub is telling me. When you look at it, I'm sorry, the Creative Hub, but when I go into my garage and I look at this car, you can see the paint job's on the icon or the picture. But right now, if I apply this, most likely it will not come onto the car because it's saying it's invalid data. So something is blocking this car from showing the design. All right. It's not corrupted because it's showing here as available, right? This is in the search bar so that you know that the car is there and can be downloaded. Now, if I click this, it should say communication error. If this is truly screwed, it'll show communication error. But if it's savable, you'll see it download. If that happens, it'll go onto the car perfectly. If it shows you that it's a communication error, you will not get that file back yet. Will we ever get it back? We don't know. But we're letting Forza have the range of movement they need to figure that out. If they can't, thank God for this, that I can make that car in about 5 minutes. I already know I've got everything saved already ahead of time as a whole side. So I'm prepared for this one to be lost already. But if it's saved, it's less work we got to do. Let's try it out. It's downloading. It's downloading. This could be good. And now the worst case scenario here is it's not going to be on the car. We won't see it, but it'll be applied to the car. And it is on the car. Victory. Victory screen. Yow, yow, yow. This is a save, man. So we've just figured out that even though some of these cars are actually showing up as invalid data, okay? This is critical, man. All right? So, listen, seriously, when I started having this problem, right, I was crushed. I went into the group, and I'm like, man, dude, what is my world coming to? I am done. I was literally done. I was like, well, boys, I'm out. See you later. Blah, 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 blah. I didn't know what to do. Like, all the work gone, right? And we're still in the situation. We're in the battle. We're in the no man's land, in the trenches, fighting the system, man. The system, man, we're fighting it. But we're winning to some degree because I just got the car back on and we saw clearly that was an invalid file. Now, hopefully, what we've done is we've taken the car out of the garage. This is looking promising, man. I've got one goal here, man. One goal. And that's to save this space friggin' design so that this kid can get his car, man. I've been working on that car religiously, and I don't care about any of my designs, man. I can make all my shit over again. I'm not concerned, all right? But my biggest concern is I just want to be able to find a way to get this BMW to populate with the design. Unfortunately, it wasn't ready to share, so I can't really look at it in the sense of shared files. Now, here's the thing, right? So far, the fix I've found does not work with cars you have not shared. So if it's just a job you've got sitting in your queue in work in process and you haven't done any sharing to it, the smart thing to do there, right? And I'm not going to lie, the smart thing to do is take some time, and this is a little bit labor intensive, but we all know the minefield we're in right now, okay? So to walk straight across a minefield is actually stupid. The trick is you need to make sure that once you recognize a possibility where you don't have it shared, we know we're already in the minefield. We're taking steps. People are getting blown up all the time here, right? We're not fighting Forza. Forza's on our side. We don't know what's going on. We're not the tech guys, but they're on our side. So we're not fighting them. We're supporting them. But what we're also doing is trying to save what we can. We see some bodies on the ground, but they're still breathing. We're dragging them out of the battlefield. We're getting them, triaged up. We're wrapping them and sending off to a MASH unit. You know what I'm saying? We're taking care of what we can find. We're saving our brothers and sisters, right? We got to figure out ways to do this and share it with the community. That's where we are right now, okay? So, if you heard me talking yesterday, I was done with Forza, man. But I come in today and I'm like, I got an idea, maybe. And it's actually working. It has not fixing the invalid files, but you know what? It just did. It just did. Because this file was invalid. And we're going to go back in and take a look real quick. Remember, when you get this happening and you get a car to actually bring the design back up, take the car out, drive it around a minute and come back in. Because when you come back in, it rewrites everything to the car and actually is the most current updated version of everything you have file-wise. So now we just saw that this was coming up as an invalid file. We're going to go into our designs and look in our My Designs, okay? And we did not pull this down from the My Design file. We've not put any of our designs back on the car today using our own My Design file. It's hit and miss, so I'm not going to try it. But we can see right now, where is it at? Invalid data right there. But we now have another version right there. You see that? So that invalid data, hello, McFly. I'm good. I'm cool with that. All right. I don't know what that one is. It's the same car, literally the same car, but we all see that car right now as in its own file. So thank God for that. We're there. Good. So, hey, what's that mean? Eventually, that might just end up at the back of our pile here, and we won't have to ever look at it again. And someday they might fix that and get rid of it completely. But we know that that has been saved as a completely different paint job, which is the original paint job. I don't know where that part came from. I didn't make two versions of this. All right. Definitely only one. Now, the one thing I'm not seeing, which is kind of a little bit concerning to me, this is just devastating, man. We're going to try this again. I don't know if this is going to work, but, you know, to be fair, I can make this paint job over in about 5 minutes. It's a pretty intricate paint job, but it's my own style, so I'm not worried about it, even if it's not exact. I know exactly what I got to do to get it back, but we're going to try this. So we know that this is the Pennzoil Nissan. We're going to bring this out. Thank God that car got brought back to me. Thank you. Because, you know, the logo work alone and just in the signature is, you know, pretty intense as far as like time. All right, so we're going to go in and we're going to look at our cars real quick. I wanted this to be a short stream, but it's about 36 minutes now. This might be, I don't want to make this more than an hour, to be fair. So if this keeps going, I'm going to literally cut the stream at an hour and I'll come back on and we're going to try to enjoy ourselves for a little while. Right now, I'm at the point where I was crushed when this happened to me. Okay. But in the long run, I realized I remembered something about this game and all these games. I remembered the most important thing. The most important thing is get in the car and drive. Just get in the fucking car and drive. That's the point. We can all make these paint jobs over again. We've already done them once. We've proven to ourselves, if not the entire world, okay, in some cases, you know, on these better painters, but we've proven to ourselves that we can bang out any car we want, anytime, anywhere. That's just what we do, okay? On every level coming up. If you're a new painter, you're banging out the best cars you can bang out in that moment, and you still can do that, even if you lost everything, okay? Everything could be gone, but you already know in your brain what you're capable of. Go do it. Don't mess around, man. Go do it. Show the game who's boss. I can't believe we got to actually put it that way. You ain't the boss, game. You ain't the boss of me. You ain't the boss of me now. I mean, he's not the boss, right? It's only a digital representation of a boss. It's not a real boss. It's we the boss, okay? You feel me? That's where we're at right now. But there's a workaround. That's the point. So here's the thing. I have a car that I want to get. This one here has got me a little bit worried, okay? This Valkyrie. Because that paint job has no vinyl groups whatsoever on it that are my own design. Everything on this Valkyrie is literally every stamp and every logo that I've won throughout my progression, right? To get, you know, you get the stamps when you break things, you get the stamps when you get all the boards, you get all the little mascots, all that stuff was completed, right? So you end up with all these crazy stickers, peas and mascot stickers and bowls of rice and everything, all this stuff, right? That no one in their right mind would use, or would they? Or would they? I have a challenge. I put a challenge out to everybody. Use them. Make a livery with them. Don't use any stickers you've made. Use only stickers you've earned. All right? You know what that means? Every paint job becomes unique to you. And if you make a paint job like this, if you don't have all the accomplishments you need, you cannot actually make a fully produced livery from your legendary journeys across these maps. Okay? The trick is beat the game, get the status, get the stickers and stamps, and make a car using just that. Yeah, it's goofy. Yeah, it's stickers with people's faces and it's stuff. People are putting on windows. But you want to know something? It's hilarious. And you know what? You've earned every bloody one of them. Go play with them. This is a toy. Remember that? Don't forget, everybody. This is just a digital toy we're playing with. All right? When we walk out our front doors, our real cars are sitting out there. And we have to drive them. And a lot of times we don't get to throw them sideways in an intersection. And you know what I mean? Like, we're not smashing down every phone booth we see. As a matter of fact, I've not even seen a phone booth in my country in 20 years. So I can't even smash them if I can find them. The point is, there's a moment here we could save these things. That car I'm concerned about. I can make this over again, obviously. But this has got me a little bit worried because these are not things I've actually made. So we're going to bring this car up. Clearly see that it's not on there. We've got the Patronus color on there, populating it, which is a good color. We're going to go into our designs, if we go into our designs, it's not going to even show up. There's nothing there. It's one of these, I'm telling you right now, it's got to be in one of the dead invalid files, because other than that, we see it. Which is weird. You know, the reason I'm concerned about that is because none of the stuff on that car is created by me. All I did was pull the stickers down that I earned and put them on the car. I didn't make any of them. So that's not showing up, and I'm concerned about my progress. Like, I know my progress is good. Let's go outside and take a look real quick and see, just to make sure that I didn't miss something there. That's really odd that that paint job doesn't show up because there's nothing made on there, and that's what's got me a little bit worried. So we're just going to pull out of the way so we're not in somebody's ghost. Move over here a minute. Yeah, just don't forget, man. This is a driving game, man. That's why you're here. You're not here to paint. Yeah, you can paint, and yes, a lot of you can really paint. We all know this. There's no hiding it. Your talent is obvious, all right? But that's not the whole game. Don't forget that. When you're feeling in the dumps, don't be silly chumps. Just purse your lips and whistle. That's the key. Always look on the bright side of life. Monty Python, 1972. All right? Okay, so seriously, that was the words to live by. Like, remember, man, we're here because we love driving, man. And we love driving cool cars. And ultimately, we can make all these cool cars again. It sucks. Yes, it does. But what does that even mean, really, to make these cars again? You know what it means? We've proven ourselves. Again. Again. We did it the first time. We'll do it again. You know why? Because that's who the hell we are. We're Forza gamers, dude. We've been beaten down. We've been drugged through the trenches. We've been taken out and picked back up and bolted back together again. Some of us are even using duct tape and super glue to hold our fragile eggshell existences and egos together, all right, based on some of the things we've experienced. And you know what? We're still here, man. We're still fucking here, all right, dude? And we're in it with Forza. Forza's our you know what I mean? Like, Forza's got our back. They're just confused right now because they got a lot of work to do, and it's affecting everybody. It's a new game. We understand this, man. We get it. We get it. Nobody's blaming Forza. I'm not. And I'm devastated. I lost a lot of shit today. I'm not devastated enough to blame Forza for it. And if you've known me in the past, I may have been a little more devastated than this and have done that. But I've changed my ways slightly. I'm a little less perturbed because I've come to the conclusion that I made these cars to begin with, and I can make them again, without a doubt. And the best part about that is, when you're doing them again, you're not going to shortchange yourself. You're never going to do that the second time. You're always going to find a way to improve it. So it's not a loss. It's actually a learning experience. It's an opportunity. You feel me? We got punched in the balls, right? But we just happened to be wearing a cup that day. You get it? We've had our shit protected. We already got this, okay? I am concerned about this car because I don't see the paint job on it, even though it says it's on there. So we're going to go into our progress and pray to the lords of the universe of driving games that our progress is still there. And it is. Thank bloody hell for that. Okay. That's good news. Yeah, all right. We did not complete our gold band yet, or not the gold, but the legend band, because we're just not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it. I want to just have. It's like when I watch TV series and I binge watch things. I've still not watched the final episode of The Sopranos. I've still not watched the final episode of Sons of Anarchy. Why? Because I never want them stories to end in my mind. When I watch them and they're gone, I'm over with it. So they're always hanging out there for me to come back one day. You feel me? That's what we're done. Forza's like that, man. That's why I won't let this happen. I'm just going to hold off and slowly progress. I've got more than half to go. Right about 20,000 points, we'll say. That's a lot of work, man. That's a lot of time. But you know what? It took us 5 years to get through Horizon 5. Right? Why? Because we weren't trying to pound every day. We weren't trying to beat the game in a week. We weren't trying to be that guy. We wanted to grow with the game and experience the game, and we did. So we've trained ourselves to be accepting that as a fact. We're good. As long as that's there, we should be all right. Now, to be fair, if I lose my progress, you know what's going to happen to me mentally? Nothing. Because I'm going to come back in and beat the shit out of this game again. I've already done it once. I've already proved I can do it. No big deal. That's how it is. I was devastated this morning, but I woke up with a whole different direction today. I remember what this is. It's a game. That's all it is. Right? We control the game. The game doesn't control us. That's where we are right now. We're keeping the stream mild. We're not doing much with it, but we're just experiencing what potentially could save some people some paint jobs. So we're going to look at this. We know that our creative hub is devastated. So we're going to actually look in my creative hub to see what's here and what's been destroyed. So that, to me, that's like, I don't get a lot of downloads, but then again, I don't share my cars to any social media. So everybody that's downloading my shit is actually from my 13 followers, man. I love every single one of you, whoever you are. You're holding my fragile, psychotic ego together by just downloading things every day. I don't know why you do it. I'm not going to lie. I don't know why you do it. There's so many better painters out there, man. but you're here in my creative hub, and I cannot possibly respect you any more than that for being here. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's only 118 downloads, but by the time I left, and I went by the same philosophy in Horizon 5, right? But by the time I left Mexico, I had over 65,000 paint jobs, but without pushing them anywhere else but in game. Sharing the code, driving away, driving it around the game. People see it. Wow, I like that. I want one. Okay. So they don't even ask. They just go get it. I've never had an interaction with somebody that said, "Hey, can you share that paint job?" Because they never had to. What I share gets shared. What I don't share doesn't get shared. If I don't want it in the community because of whatever reason, I'm probably not done with it. I'll eventually put it out there, but I don't put them all out there. Some of them are just practice, so I can stay fresh, stay clean, stay alive. Anyway, a little bit concerned about some of these things, but we know right now, knock wood. Let me get knock that wood real quick. That it hasn't affected our Creative Hub's vinyl groups yet, so we are still in saving grace there. We do have quite a few that we still can work with to go from there. But then again, where are we at right now with our skills? Simple. We've made all these designs already. We've made all these logos already, and to be fair, we've gotten better at it. Anybody that takes time in the booth has gotten better at it. So it's really not that hard to make again. You can do it. I can do it. Everybody here can do it. We all have the same tools. So let's see. Have we gotten any messages about this? Nope. Confirmation of that? Nope. And okay, what do we have here? Some people downloaded my stuff. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, so we're gonna go back in. We're gonna see why this paint job wouldn't populate. We know our progress isn't screwed. I'm concerned as to why this isn't invalid though, because none of these are my graphics, so that's kind of problematic. Let's go into our paint. We're gonna look first of all. We're gonna look in our actual Creative Hub to see if this paint job is in our Creative Hub as one of the ones available. Nope, that's not what we want. We want our. There we go. So does it show up first of all? Does not. Nope, don't see it. This one may not ever return. That's okay. It wasn't our design. It was just us putting stickers on the car. So it's not like a design per se. It's just a fun way to show off your accomplishments, I guess. I want to know what this one is. Because for me to actually name a car Nomadic has me wanting to know what that car is. Because I wouldn't have taken the time to actually name it. Where is it at? Where is it at? See, it's actually gone now. Nomadic right here. Day 2 in the game, by the way. What could I have done? Oh, I know what that is. That's the first car I had in the game. That's actually the Sylvia, I believe. I might have just called it Nomadic because I was gonna call everything Nomadic something this or that or whatever, but I just was like, screw it. Too much typing. I'm lazy when it comes to that. If I can't voice command it, I don't bother with it. But so that's good that we see the name there. We see Nomadic, so we know that anything that's got a name or a Forza livery is potentially savable. We just don't know what they are, right? We've got to come across them, and by getting in cars that don't have paint jobs, we know exist. So it's labor intensive. You got to drag yourself through it. I have a specific car I want to check out right now. It very well may be part of the lost souls of the Creative Hub. Okay, so we're going to go into our car garage and we're going to look for a specific Mustang. It is the GT 500. Now you can see that right there. You can see that there's stuff all over it. That actually has all of the spray paint designs that was the under design from the Ken Block Porsche. So the Ken Block Porsche has graffiti all over it, right? Underneath the logos. They were graffiti done by Trouble Andrew. He actually goes by the name Gucci Ghost. He's the artist that has done probably a lot of Ken Block's liveries. As far as the base livery designs, the logos obviously are just sponsor stuff, but, he's the guy that's come up with a lot of these concepts of Ken Block's cars. So I thought, well, let's just pay tribute to him. Let's use some of his actual integrally complex designs as a basis. We didn't put any logos on that. We didn't put any identifiers on it. We didn't, put anything as our design on there. We just basically made a tribute to that dude. With his graffiti work based on Ken's graffiti work, which is pretty intense, man. It's hard to make that because, when you spray paint something, you're not creating a straight line. But we're going to pull this car out of the garage and see if the paint job's not going to be on here. I know it isn't. Okay. Okay, I see where we are. Let's see. Now, we know that that design is not showing up anywhere in our files. We're going to go into our designs. We're going to look and see, is that showing up anywhere? We do not see the pink painted Mustang anywhere. So we don't know where this is and if it's going to be part of the invalid files or not. This is like scratch off ticket lottery right here. All right, you scratch a ticket. If it works, you win 20 bucks. Hey man, buy some more tickets because we got more to do. Right? Still more money left out there to win. Right? So we're going to try this. Let's see if we got this. So we know we're not seeing it obviously pop up anywhere in our Creative Hub. So it's not readily available to download directly from our Creative Hub front door. But the back door may be different. I don't know why that's not showing up. Because I have that car on, that paint job's on the car. So I might have to resave that car, unshare it and resave it. But luckily for me, I've already saved everything off the car, so we're good if it just fails. Anyway, we're looking for the Mustang. We know it's not up here. We'll do a double check. Do a triple check. All right, we know it ain't there. So we're going to go back in here. Now, we're going to forget about the going into My Designs. We're going to go into Find a New Design. We're going to click on that. And immediately once you get in, as soon as something comes up, let it populate a moment, and then just go to the double copy button, which is the two squares on the left-hand button, menu button. This will bring up this screen. Just make sure you type in your gamer tag if you're looking for your stuff, obviously. And so far I haven't had to retype that back in because it knows I'm looking, so it's basically keeping it there. As long as I'm actively still in this session, I'm pretty sure that name will stay in there, so you don't have to retype it. Although there have been times where you had to retype your name in a bunch of times, which kind of sucks, but you know what? Walk through the nails to get through the fire, man. You know what I'm saying? The fire's behind you. You're going to walk through the glass? Damn right. I could fix my feet later. All right, so let's see. We're going to try to bring this up now. If this works in all its glory, it'll appear in this file. Okay, these are all the potentials we have here, by the way. So we know a lot of these are not in our Creative Hub right now as visually there. So we're looking for the Mustang. We know we shared it, and there it is. Miss You in Japan KB43. We're in the car. We know we're in the car. We got the little steering wheel dude down the bottom. We know that's the one. Let's take a moment and say a quick prayer to the universe. Universal, give me that power. Yo, bitch, give me that power. All right, we good. Let's do this. We're going to download this. If it comes up and says communication error, we can kiss this one goodbye. All right? We can make it again, but we can kiss this one goodbye. If it starts to download, we win. Ready? Here we go. We're scratching the ticket now, and oh man, we're going to win the 20 bucks, or are we going to win the lottery? We're going to win the whole lottery? I think we're going to win the lottery. I think we're going to win the lottery, baby. Yeah, there it is. Woohoo! All right, so come on now. You see what I mean? That's a fix. I don't know how long it's going to be fixed, but that shit's on that car right now, is it not? You see it, I see it. I mean, I'm sure I'm not imagining it. I know I'm awake. Let me double check. Yep, I'm awake. You feel me? That's a fix. It is now in the Creative Hub. Let's go take a look now. We're going to drive outside with it real quick because we want to make sure that the game rewrites the data real fast to make sure it's the most current updated version. Drive the car, come back in, and it'll actually save the data to your hub or your game itself. So we know we're outside. Let's drive it around a minute. We're going to take it around the outside, around the outside. We're going to take it around the outside and come back in. I'm thrilled that this car is here. I'm not as happy as I can be right now because the one car I really, really, really want is the BMW to populate again so I can get that design off it. I made the mistake of a lifetime with that one. I did not save the file side. I should have saved the side so that I had the side to work with, and I knew it. I said it to myself. I was like, I should take this off here and just put it away, right? Build it off the car now that I've got the proper the spacing and everything. I literally said that to myself, and I blew it off. I thought to myself, nah, we're in control. We got this. And it was the end of that. So I'm devastated, but you know what? We go back to our standard rule. We're living life in a flowchart right now, by the way, if you hadn't noticed. We're always going to default back to a few things. And the main thing is we've already done this once, so stop bitching. We can do it again. All right? That's the hardest path we can take. is accepting the fact that it's gone and the work was just practice. That's a tough nut to bite, really. It's like cracking a walnut with your teeth, man. That's not an easy thing to do. All right, but it may be the only thing to do. All right, so be prepared for that. And if you're good as you think you are, and most of the people that are listening to this and will listen to this, at whatever level you're in, you're as good as you think you are already. So fuck it, do it. Okay, man. So we're gonna try this. We're gonna go in. We know that this is a winner, man. We can now go back into our creative hub, right? And go to our cars. We're actually going to get out of this car, go into another car. We'll get back into our Fiat because it's easy. It's right there, and we're lazy. We're not going to go too far into the garage. We're just going to drive the first car we see. We're just going to take it out, get in it. We're going to pull it outside, turn around, and come back in. So the game is rewriting the data real fast, so it knows the most current update. It saves every time you come in and out. Basically, the point. Right? Don't figure it doesn't. You get a little bit of extra push every time, which is not bad. All right, here we go. We're inside somebody else. Sometimes you pay double for that in some countries. All right, here we go. Here we go. We're going back in. We're driving our Fiat. We're going to put 1,000 miles on this particular car today, just driving in and out of the garage because we're going to fix this problem ourselves today. We're going to regain as much as we can and then build everything back from there. Until it happens again, then we do it all over again. And every single time it happens, we're going to do it all over again. And you know what? One day, we're going to have to keep doing it over and over and over again. And then someday when we fix all that, you know what's going to happen then? We're going to keep having to do it over and over again. So just get that in your mind. That's who we are now. If you really want to play the game, that's who we are. Okay? Otherwise, there's other games to play, that may not have the situation right now. But to be fair, Forza's pretty good at taking care of things. In the long run, this will all work out. Speed bumping. This game has done devastating numbers to their bank account, meaning they don't know what to do with all that money right now. Okay, 6 million people in the game in the first week. That's a lot of shit. And even if you look at a percentage of those people having problems, or even a minor small percent, that's still a lot of people. Okay, that's a lot of people for a gaming company that just recently, announced through Microsoft that they possibly laying off some people. I don't know if it's directly related to any of them people in Forza, but Microsoft just laid off, and Xbox laying off a bunch of people as well. So, that comes at a really bad time. We're going to have to figure out every fix we can get to salvage what we can in the meantime, while everybody else figures out their end as far as the actual developers and stuff like that. Just be supportive of these guys, all right? They're under a lot of pressure. We are too, but so are they, right? They're getting the blame for everything. We don't really know what the problem is. We can't blame them for computer problems. We can't blame them for glitches. Right? They made a game. They were happy with it. It's put out. We knew it wasn't going to be perfect in day one. It's pretty damn perfect. Okay? There's some issues. Some comical, some crazy. Right? Bowie knife. Just drop that out there, right? That's crazy shit right there, man. But it's also something to talk about, right? That's funny shit, too. So it's okay to be laughing at Bowie knife and the crazy shit that happens to people. And it's also okay to curse at Bowie knife when it happens to you. That's the point. I think they knew that, and they're taking the piss here a little bit. They're just having a little fun with us, and there's nothing wrong with that. All right, they're having fun in the game as well, and that's what they can do. But we'll give them some space, let them figure it out. Let's go try to find our next victim here to fix. And the more and more I look at this car, the more I want to paint this car. This car cries out, "Paint me with the classic racing livery. Something, please, in the martini style." That's what I'm feeling. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. We have all that ready to go. But we're going to come out of here and we're going to literally look into our creative hub once again. See what cars we're dealing with now. So now we know. Actually, let's go into our paints real quick, and we're going to show you now that we actually look in our designs. Now, we knew before when we walked through here that we did not see that design that had the paint right there. You see, now that is there. So far we've done a couple here that have proven to work, even though they're coming up as files with no images. If it's so far, here's the scorecard. All right, if it says anything other than invalid data, there's a potential you could save it. You may not see it, and if you try to download it from here, it won't actually let you download anything. Right? If I go into any one of these that says Forza livery, you look at that, right? It'll say that one's actually on the car right now, but I'm going to unshare that and share it again. But I think we went back outside. No, we didn't. All right. Yeah, so pretty much the way I'm looking at it right now, this is from my limited knowledge of the situation, that everything that has invalid is basically not going to work, or is it? See, there's the problem. right? We have already experienced the fact that these two cars are the same car. I've never made two versions of this. So one file said invalid, but we can clearly see that now that car exists and we've driven that car outside. So even the ones that are invalid, there's a slight chance that you could save that. That's pretty good, right? I mean, come on now. Let's try this one here. We could see the picture and it says invalid. So that might be the key indicator there. If you see something that says invalid and it doesn't even load up, like I cannot even, there's no picture there. And as I'm trying to hit that button, it doesn't even bring me into that. So we don't know what that is. It doesn't even have a date. We can probably consider them dead. But all the ones we actually see a date and a Forza name above it or anything else, we might be able to get them back. And that's kind of our goal. All right, so let's come back over here, and we're going to actually try this one. It's a little weird little paint job I did, all right? But you know what? I want it back. I want to just prove a point that we can go after an invalid data and actually recover it based on the fact that it is actually showing a picture. And if we click on this, it'll show us an option. Even though it's not bringing it up, right? The picture tells me that there's something there we might be able to save. And we're going to try that right now. So let's go into that car. We know that that is a little bit of a, I believe, it's a Nissan, I believe. City car or something like that. Wait, that's not a Nissan. What is that car? We're going to have to dig through the entire thing here. It's not a Scuba Dooba Dooba. It's not a Toyota. We're going to do the walk. We're going to walk through the whole hub here because I don't remember what that car is, to be fair. Not a BMW, obviously. Yeah, it's a BMW M-Class city car. Okay, so I think it might be not a Ford. Here we go. I'm pretty sure we're in the zone. Yep, Honda. Honda City E. Okay, so there's some Honda opportunities here. This is the one I really need to find. I don't know if this is going to be good, but this car took me 14 hours to make that Dragon yesterday. If you watched yesterday, you saw me make an insane Dragon on this car, and it is gone. Matter of fact, I just remembered I did this now, so I need to focus. And this one here, man, I got a buddy of mine I made that for. If you're watching right now, dude, don't worry, man. I can make that car over again in no time. That's just me letting my brain go wild on a car. That's the easiest fucking thing I can do. No problem, dude. If that doesn't work, we should be okay. But we could see it there. Let's bring out this car here, the JDM Beast. Actually, we're doing this one. We know that the picture's there. We know that this is not going to populate. All right, we know it's not there. We can see it clearly is not there. But we're going to go use our magical trick of destiny. We're not going to go into our designs. We're going to go into find new design. We already know that has invalid data already connected to it, right? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to just kind of let that populate. We're going to bring up our immediate search. There's our name. This should bring the car up directly. All right, and it is shared. And this is gone. No problem. That's an easy paint job to replace, and I don't really need to replace. Oh, wait, there it is. Here we go. Now we know that that said invalid data in the actual Creative Hub, but here it's showing livery and picture. That's promising. We're in the car. This, if anything goes wrong here, what might happen is it'll say that it's on the car. It'll apply it. Once I click it here, it'll apply it to the car, but it may not show up. That's a car you want to leave alone for a while. Let the game figure that out, because that might, once they get everything rolled out where we're all knowing that everything's good then and we're all back to normal, that car may just reappear right where we left it. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to try right now. We're going to try to put this on the car. The fact that it's saying download and not communication error tells me it's going to be fine, right? That's the key indicator of success. So far, the most common denominator among all these things is that in the long run, I know that's ridiculous. That was a funny paint job I did for somebody as just showing them some basic shapes. Don't laugh. All right. But the point is, you know, we've actually succeeded here pretty thoroughly, man. I'm actually kind of happy. I got two things I need to get done here that are really got me just stressed. Okay. I need to recover that BMW, and I don't know if it's going to work. We've just experienced the potential for it to work, right? Each one of these cars that I've gotten this to come over to, like right now, this car is showing invalid data, but it's also showing the picture. So to me, that's an indicator that it can be saved. So the BMW that I really want to get for the guy that I made it for, that shows a picture, and it says Forza livery. So that's a whole other weird entity in itself. I don't understand why that's not coming up. It's saying it's on the car already, but it's not appearing. So I'm going to leave that one alone for a couple days and let that sort of level out. Let the fat all boil off of it and see what turns up. Okay. So we know that that worked on this one. We're going to drive it outside so we can put it back in the garage and back in its place of glory. But for the most part, I mean, I'm thinking like 90, I'm saying about 75 to 90% of these things can be recovered using this technique if it's not listed as an invalid file. But even if it's listed as an invalid file, I'm saying there's a 10% chance that you can recover that because we've just did that twice. All right. So there's a choice there. You got to make some choices, right? We're 65 minutes into the stream. I think I'm going to kill the stream. I'm going to come back in and I'm going to just drive and have a good time and go experiencing the game as it should be. All right. So I've just showed you the potential to recover some of your data while we wait for Forza to, permanently figure this out. That's coming. Don't worry about that. But we're all in this together. Hopefully this can help somebody. If you know anybody that might be experiencing this, let them know. Hey, this dude figured something out. It might work for you. Give him a yell. I'm going to probably put this up on YouTube, but for now it's going to sit there on my stream as a viewable. I'm going to share the highlights of this. I'm going to keep it low as far as time wise because the bigger streams. I've done 26-hour streams last week, just in a row. So we're not gonna make you look through 26 hours of shit. Okay, that's just the way it is. Anyway, I'm gonna bail out of here, but I'm literally coming right back on to do some driving, maybe recover one or two more. We'll go off the mic on that one because my stress levels have been slowly depressurized because we found a little bit of a fix. Any little fix is a good thing. All right, that's the true value of that. Anyway, appreciate the time, appreciate the effort. You're all exactly where you want to be. Paint another car, become better, get some more knowledge, teach somebody else something, share the wealth, give the knowledge away, and make the community better. Why? Because we grow faster together. Hashtag faster together. All right, peace. I'll see you on the road.